Hello and welcome to this edition of Saturday Chat with Big Scott 35. Just wanted to go over the week there was, the week there will be, and my goals and how I do things now in my setup, in my collection. So, first, I wanted to start with Sunday night. Uh, Chatted, kind of trying to wrap up a little bit. I was doing a little bit of a series. I was building up, like this whole uh, knowledge, vintage versus new guy. I consider myself a straight up collector. I don't label myself as a vintage or ultra modern. Um, I'm a collector, and that's it. You know, I don't collect just baseball. As you can see behind me, I collect, stuff that I like. Uh, that's just how I am. And I don't know where these biases and all this other stuff comes from. I love looking at other people's collection. I don't care if it's stamp collected, especially if that person is just, here's my collection. Look at this. That makes me jazzed up to see it. But that's just me personally. Um, and I just encouraging people to collect in the hobby. Enjoy what you love. Don't get into something. Again, watching somebody announced to the Hall of Fame and just seeing the Hall of Fame collectors, like, I got to punch in and start collecting a guy I don't really care about. Just doesn't make sense to me. Then it's a job. Again, I to each his own. And again, as long as you enjoy it or don't enjoy it, it's up to you. It's your choice. And at the end of the day, you're the one that's got to have it. So, uh, Monday, me and my dad chatting, another good chat. Didn't get as many views on that one as usual. I guess because I didn't really put a topic. My dad, we ran into a topic, fundamentals and how the game has changed a little bit in that respect, or really not either. I mean, I remember as a kid, my dad don't do it like that. Do it the way you're supposed to do it. They get paid to do it that way. Once you get paid, then you can do it however you want. And we talked about that a little bit. Um, had fun with that. Wednesday showed off a little stack. Awesome gift from Bradley Claus. Yeah, I can't wait to get him back at the National. And I think at the National, he might not have to purchase anything the way it sounds from everybody in the hobby. Uh, Thank you so much, man. For, I will represent the hobby. You are one of the top notch guys in this hobby, and you should be saluted and get a super reward. So thanks again for that. Then it comes to today. Today, I want to talk a little bit about what I talked about in my showcase last week. I think I missed an opportunity after I thought about it. I've been talking and preaching about collecting on a budget, a low budget. I talk about when people scarf it, how much somebody spends on something, or that's all they spent. They don't even realize the little knocks they give somebody about spending what they spend. Uh, if it's $500 is not a Grail card to only spending $66. It was only $66. I'm not going to hash up any of that. I'm just doing callbacks because right now I am trying to get ahead for next year to be ready. I rather save up to buy a special card or two at the National. I'm planning on going to the Expo, so that's 2 shows. I like to have more than a couple $100 to go to. So in order for me to do that, I have to start saving a year ahead of time. Every check, and I can't touch that savings. And then I got to pay out the credit card that I use for travel and expenses, for staying, lodging, and all that stuff. So I have to look forward to that. That's called adulting, by the way. I used to not do that. I used to worry about it later. But I don't want to do that anymore. I have anxiety. I have depression. I take medication for all of that. And I just want to stay ahead of the game, man. I don't want to put myself in. I bought a car and I'm trying to move, all these things. So cards have, everyday cards have fallen down a ladder. Now I started looking on eBay again. I showed you a card I bought for $20. This week I just couldn't. I bought my ticket to the show. I went ahead and got the VIP. They only have an VIP, super VIP, and then the 5-day early entry. So they only, instead of having 4 or 5 different levels, they're only having 3 levels. And one they just added 2 years ago was the 5 early day entrance, which does then get the bag, the tchotchkes, and all of that stuff, which I don't need that. The only reason I got the VIP is for the parking pass. If you don't know about Cleveland, it's a huge parking lot. I need somebody from that area to tell our group, because rumor has it the parking lot is something has taken up some of that parking space, but it's so big, and I guess the VIP parking is up in the front part. So that's kind of why I got it, to make sure I didn't have to pay for parking every day. And the way it sounds is you can come and go as many times as you want, which is a little bit better. Atlantic City, you can only come in and out 5 times. That sucked, because that way I thought I could go back to the house if I wanted, fix lunch, relax, come back when it got crowded. But luckily it didn't get too bad. And me and David and Mike only went a couple times, but me and David usually hooked up every day to go to lunch somewhere around AC. He had some spots that he knew, so me and him went to those, which worked out awesome. We got Ubers a couple of times, so everything worked out great. Chicago was kind of the same way, but I just paid every day for parking, and it wasn't that bad, to let everybody know. I think it was, I don't know, $8 maybe a day, $4, $6. It was not bad as I thought it was going to be. But every dollar you spend somewhere else is a dollar going away out from hobbying. So that's the way I have to look at it. And I'd rather, yes, I can use all of that money for lodging, for going to the trips, all of that, and just stay on eBay or go to shows around here. There's a show this weekend in Raleigh, really big. I don't like the promoter. He's an asshole. And Bobbles actually sent me a picture. I wish I put it on here. How tight the facility is. There's some picture somewhere on the internet. Yeah, the last time I went to one of his shows, he tried to get in as many tables as he possibly can, because that way he makes all of his money up front, and then everything your $5, $10, whatever the entry fee is just plus. It's a money grab for him. He doesn't care about the people selling, and he doesn't care about the people going to the show. He just doesn't. It's just a money grab for him. So I wouldn't go if I was available this weekend to go. I had the money to go. Next weekend, there's a big show here in Winston-Salem. It's the same people that puts it on down at Hickory, I believe, and that promoter's awesome. Him and his wife, I've sat down at the table at the entrance and had discussions with them. And Hickory, they laid out the whole thing for me. I think it's called Fast Pitch or Inside Pitch or something like that. Promotions. They're a super fantastic couple. You could tell they've been doing this a long time, and just really really good to get along with. But back to my subject on a budget. So I told you I bought that set at Chantilly uh, 3 4 years ago. I was actually living in Iowa. I was here visiting. I used to come in the fall to go to the Chantilly show. Uh, it's a couple hours from my dad's house, so make a day trip. The last time I went overnight, so I could go 2 days and take my time because the show's kind of grown that big. Where yes, you can make a day trip and enjoy it, but I kind of felt like I really wanted to have a second day to kind of go back and make sure I took time to look at things. Um, but I think my plan is this fall to go for a day trip again. Um, Probably do my couple hundred because it's really close to the expo, and I'm not 100% sure on that. In the spring, I'm thinking about going to Philly for the spring show. But that's a wait and see, and that's about 6 hour drive for me. I just try to go to different shows. Not really spend a lot of money. I have a very economical car now for driving. When I went and I had an Avalanche, was a gas guzzler, and went and got this car. Uh, all of that was on my mind. And traveling, I like driving now, seeing parts of the country. We live in a beautiful country, and flying over it or driving through it, I'm choosing to drive through it to see more and more and make more out of my trips that way. And again, that's a money thing. So I feel like if I can hit a couple of spots, see some nature, check out some other museums that are in my wheelhouse for history or battlefields, anything like that, I feel like I'm getting more out of my trips than flying over. So back to what I'm here for. So first off, I like to share my screen here with you. So I use ComC. A couple of people really got me turned into this. Where let me see if I can't get it a little bigger on it. There we go. Let's see if a little bit bigger. ComC, the drawback is you have to put money into your account. Let me see here. Yeah. So right now I have like $30 in there. Every once in a while I'll put some money in, and I was doing some selling at one time. I didn't have much luck. I really need to sit down with somebody how to use this or go over it better as a tool for selling if I go back on here. Because I'll show you what I'm selling on, and I'm doing the same thing. It works similar to ComC, but it's just a little bit cheaper. So $30.81, and I just go in and I do the same thing. You can put a player up here. Let's see. Yeah, and it'll populate, and it'll just give you all of them. You can go over here and put in any attributes to it. You can go over here high or the lowest price. So running really really slow right now. So that's just kind of how I do it. Autographs, got 105 on the autographs right now. 133 memorabilia, pre-rookie, rookie card. And ComC, They don't allow people to list junky cards. Everything's going to be pictured. Let's see. So we got a multi-picture card. If it'll populate, so you can look at every picture of this card. And I mean, they got over 5 pages of this one card to look at. So you can actually, uh, zoom in to these cards individually and actually look at it. And I mean, I know most people on here know ComC, uh, so I don't really need to go too much into this. But it's just something I use, and usually I just put my money on there, and I try to 100 cards, 150 cards, and get it sent to me. I've only done it a couple of times. It's not like I'm a pro at it or anything. I just feel like you get more bang out of your buck by getting a bunch of cards for shipping. So that's the first tool that I use. Uh, the next tool is going to be, I'm going to go to eBay. All right, now we're going to go to the eBay page. I know most of y'all used eBay. It's not nothing new or anything, but I just want to show right here what I like to use. I go to sort time ending soonest. So you'll get a lot of like people have their week ending uh, bidding auctions, and you can look at auctions. You can see stuff that's ending, like best offers or anything that they're going to have on there ending soon. Um, and you could try to snipe it, or if you see something like a best offer, here's 11 to 35 material. I don't get too many material cards, but it's got one bid for 99 cents with $3.92 shipping. I do look at the shipping. I seen one up here like this one right here, this teal card, $5.25. That's even expensive for like a bubble mailer. Uh, that's the stuff that I kind of look at. $1.99 for out of 225. I believe I have that one. I do have a spreadsheet with everything for Pete Alonso. I'm creeping up on 1,100 cards of him. I was looking at this candy cane one, candy cane bat. Right now, I'm just not buying anything, but this would really pique my interest. $8, 58 minutes, $1.11 shipping, so it's gonna come in a white mailer, plain white mailer envelope. So you have like this right here, this graded. Pete Alonso doesn't even have the grade on it. So what is the grade? Oh, it's a 10. I don't know why they didn't share that. Share that in the thing. So that's $30. I don't know if that's a $30 card. 45, buy it now. It's a little pricey. But this is just something I look at, to see if I could pick off any cards like this. Nice ornament, $2, no bids, $5 shipping again. That's just something to look at. This would be something I really would look at. No bids, $30. 1988 insert out of 25. It says our best offer. I would probably put in a best offer on that. I don't know if it's $30, but that's very interesting card. If anybody's out there, there's the candy cane one again, $1.99. If that other one at $8 with $1.11 shipping. So this one right here catches my eye, right? That other one was $8. This one is at $1.11. So this is just how I look at things. Really, coming at it as a collector, as a super collector of Pete Alonso. Buying up his Met stuff. I don't know how long he's going to be a Met. This is one of my favorite cards of him right here. And it's not even in a set. It's a Turn Back the Clock, Turn Back Throwback Thursday, whatever it's called. It kind of the Babe Ruth card. Forget what year that card is mimicking, but that's one of my favorite cards. Have not seen this card. Really like that one too. 2023 Topps. Oh, Bob Ross. I tell you about. I haven't seen any of the Bob Ross collection. Him and the Happy Trees. So that's another one. So that's a sponsored, but you get the drift. I kind of, this is where how I do things right now. And I would also, one of my favorite things and how I picked off the David Wright is I go in and you can see a lot of my searches there. And again, ending soonest, autographs, just start looking at Pete's. And just seeing if there's one on there that is somebody put at an auction instead of starting the auction at $40. They started at 99 cents, right? It's not a auto, but it's still a tier 1 relic card. That's kind of what I look for. Something that I really like. Oh, that's a digital. You gotta be careful with the digital. And that's what I do right now. See this one right here. This is an awesome auto. $51. It's not going to stay at $51. Numbered out of 10. David Wright and Pete Alonso. I already have a David Wright Pete Alonso. And it's even got the same picture as the Pete Alonso one. So that's how I do things with that one. Then we're going to go to my last one here. Share screen is Sport Lots. And now this is where I actually sell on here. So let's see. Let's go. So right now I have a credit balance of $19.44. I sold some stuff this week. And you can see, I mean, I'm not making $1 million all at once. I never will. So this is just something that I use. It's a nickel and dime. It's been called the home of the 18-cent card. It's some people say it's hard to navigate. I don't know. So here, Pete Alonso. We'll do a search. Over here, you got your all cards, autograph cards. So I've been doing this. And these are the ones that right now there's 3 autograph cards for sale. I've been looking at this one, and this one does have a picture. Not all of them have pictures. Actually, this one's at $65. It's not a terrible price. Some of them have offer. You can do bids or offers on them. I could send a question, hey, would you take this or whatever? And it's up to them. But $65 for this is actually his rookie auto. It's not terrible. This is not a sought after rookie auto by any means, but for me as a Pete Alonso collector, lover of this player, just love this play. I hope he's a Met forever. This is something I would like to have in my collection, and especially if I sell a bunch of cards for that, to get that where it's really not coming out of my pocket. This was another one, and see, it does not have a picture. So I would not pay $150 for one with no picture available, because I would send him and go, hey, you have a picture? And then I'd ask, hey, you gotta put something in that picture that tells me it's yours. You're not just taking it off. That to me is very sketchy for something at that price. Actually, I think they actually ask you to picture anything over $5. Do I do that? No, but if I had one on here for 150, I did have like an Altuve to 5 on here that I had pictured. I think I got 125 for it, 150, something like that, somewhere in there. So you do have bigger cards on here as well, but I just like the fact, and they'll be on here as well as you'll see the same cards on by the same seller on eBay. So just to let you uh, know that, and I this is just where I go. You can see that I have uh, my who I search for: Gary Carter, Brett Beatty, Daryl Strawberry, Mets players. I think it'll go all Mets. Yeah, so it's just uh, there's 54 pages of it, and they're like team cards and stuff like that, and things that just say Mets. But that's kind of how I do things, and to put in your orders if like I sell. Just go to add inventory, and I put in everything by player. Um, to me, because I'm a player collector, so I just have all my stuff boxed up in players. I bring them out and put them in player sets. So that's kind of how I do that. And that's kind of how I'm rolling now, and just having fun with my hobby in different ways. Steadily, and I pick up blasters when I can. Boxes. I have a box of Star Wars Chrome I just looked at sitting here that I slowly open. I'm doing a little bit more than one package a day because I get a little antsy sometimes. Uh, but I'm doing that. I play video games and just kind of having fun with what I have. Sooner or later, I'll do another how my apartment's changed in the last year and a half. How I have things set up now. I want to do a couple of more things before I get too far into that. For both channels, I like to do that for my gaming setups, and I got a little bit more to do for that, and also my cards and other stuff. So if you have any questions or any ideas for me to hobby inexpensively, and what I was saying before, I bought that set for $16 in Chantilly. I slowly got it graded. Finally, I just said screw it. Now that SGC and the rest of these companies are kind of coming to their senses and lower their prices. PSA is still not where I would like it to be for the low end stuff, but the other companies, yeah, I can do 10 cards at a time, and it doesn't. I like to live around that $100 a hit. Um, and I can budget my money better that way. I just got a PSA order that I'll show Wednesday. That I got 4 cards done, 2 of them from one of my bosses at work. Wanted to get graded. We got another one coming back from PSA. And then that I had to do separately because PSA makes you separate them by years. One fell out of so you have to pay for shipping twice. PSA, shame on you. Shame. I can ship it all in one package, but you won't ship it back to me in one package for one shipping price. Shame on you. I had to pay $50 in shipping. I think that's what it was. No. $18 or something. 25. It was something stupid price twice. So I had to pay twice for shipping costs because y'all can't separate cards and put them back together in the same package. Shame on you, as a multi-million-dollar company you are now. Shame. Well, we all know PSA doesn't give two poop poos about us. as collectors. They are just making money and they want to make it as easily as they possibly can. Uh, with that being said, I mean, tomorrow night, Sunday, I'm just going to invite the friends on, talk about the hobby, kind of wrap things up with what I've been talking about. Uh, you know, have some holiday cheer, laugh and joke. Hope y'all come on and we'll laugh and joke and talk. Again, if anybody ever has interest in wanting to be on and chatting, hit me up. My links in Instagram or in the about page of this channel. Um, if I know you, you're more than welcome. If I don't know you, I'll find out if you're more than welcome. And I just can't allow anybody and everybody on, but I can. If I know you, you're somebody that's been in my channel or we talked, and you're, I would really love having a baseball vintage, somebody that just collects baseball vintage. I would love to have you on and ask some questions. And you might, hopefully, you won't get mad with me, but I just like some answers to some questions on some things that I've seen and heard on these channels. And it's not a challenge question. I would just like to, and I don't want to. I don't want to contact my friends in the hobby and put them on the spot, right? I don't want to sit there and go, hey, because I know I got two or three vintage guys that I could contact, but I don't want they'll do it because they're friends of mine, acquaintances, but I don't want to be that guy. I would like to have somebody maybe I haven't had on before. Um, so get the word out and about, and it's not a challenge. I just want to have a friendly discussion on what the differences are and some things that are freely said, and see if they're just out of context, or is that how some people really feel. Uh, so with that being said, let's put that out there. But I want good vibes, and I want it to be a happy discussion. But I would like to have somebody take me up on that. My man Eric took me up on that last week, but he does hockey and he doesn't mind. Uh, he doesn't understand. I'm with him. I'm with a lot of the vintage guys where I don't understand why somebody will pay $5,000 for a rookie, uh, you know, autograph of some guy that hasn't done anything yet. And his daddy is a Hall of Famer, and you can't get $5 for his autograph. It doesn't make sense to me when that happens, or a quarterback that's not in the league in 4 years, and everybody's yelling, "Woe is me." You gotta look yourself in the mirror, man. What are you doing? What the quarterback situation in the NFL is horrible right now. Horrible. If you really look at the stats opposed to what the type of offenses they run, which is a lot of passing, you know, it is definitely changed. So, uh, yeah. So with that, I'm going to leave you with that finally, and say have a nice weekend. Enjoy yourselves out there. Enjoy the hobby. I hope everybody's getting ready for the holidays. Be safe, be merry and bright, and we'll see you next time. See ya.